Patty meeting.
Hello, everybody.
Yeah, ooh, that was nice. So I'm imagining we're starting. Welcome to Cape's end of the year celebration. It's been a very interesting year, I'll tell you. And we've learned to do some amazing things over the years. Skills have just been improving, and we keep improving in a way that challenges everyone around us. And I would like to introduce someone who's challenged us to do wonderful things throughout the year and motivation. And one of the reasons I'm here, my name is Brother L. I'm also known as Lionel Freeman, and I'm a teaching artist at Diet. And I'd like to bring to the table Shelton Spielberg.
Hi, everybody. Yay, brother. Oh, thank you so much. Thank you, everybody, for coming out and being here together for this grand celebration. Thank you, Lionel, for hosting and helping put together the presentations tonight. I'm just going to do a bunch of thank yous first. I'm so grateful for so many things. I'm thankful for Jenny and Amber for organizing tonight, and for Jordan, Lionel, Juan Carlos, Janiqua, and I'm forgetting it, Tracy. That's okay. For you all putting this event together, um, and everybody that contributed to it from all the classrooms. I'm very grateful to be a part of this community that supported each other so much for this past year. And it's just been a moving experience and a humbling one to see how we've all stuck together. And some really cool stuff has happened because of that. And even when things were tough, we always felt like we had each other's back. So that's worth celebrating too. I won't ramble on much longer. I'm really excited to see what is to come. So please enjoy, sit back, relax, or get up and dance, whatever you got to do, and enjoy the show.
Okay, so one moment before we get started for real, right? I want to know How does everybody feel? Let's put some fingers in the air and like move around, get the energy flowing so we can welcome our first video, because our first video starts off with something very special. Jenny, why don't you take it away? We're still moving. I would like everyone to take a moment and take a seat. Inhale. All right, folks. Are you all ready for Shaniqua? Huh? She has an exercise for us. What you think? What you all think? Come on now.
That was good. That was good. That was good. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Lionel. Good evening, everyone, and welcome, welcome, welcome. My name is Shaniqua Brooks, and I'm a teaching artist at New Sullivan Elementary, and I'm very pleased to be with you all this evening. Today, you should have in front of you some materials. You should have a marker, any color you like, as long as you can read it, on your plastic bag, grocery bag, any type of plastic, some yarn, any color you like, a little bulky, some liquid glue, washable, please, nothing, no Gorilla Glue here, please. I'm not held accountable for anybody that has their fingers stuck to anything on this project. And what we're going to be doing today is creating a positive word. It will be a text, 4 to 5 letters, but 3 to 4 preferably, because we're trying to make it sweet and short, straight to the point. This is an example of what we're doing. This word is peace. So we're gonna get right into it. I'm gonna adjust my camera so y'all can see what I'm doing here. All right, you have your plastic bag in front of you, your handy dandy marker, right? And write out your word. My word is gonna be love. And instead of the O, I'm going to put a heart. And what I want you all to do as you're writing out your word is to try your best and connect them, just as you saw in my final example, like overlap them a little bit, and it all makes sense once we start to apply the yarn. And try to do it as best as you can. Doesn't have to be perfect, just good enough for you. It's gonna look amazing. All right, I'm almost there. I got my V, get my V down. Again, 3 to 5 letters, but preferably 3 and 4, just to make it sweet and short. Mine's is 4 letters, love. I'm right now trying to get this E down on this plastic bag. And hold down words necessary. As you can see, I'm kind of trying to keep it from moving a little bit too much. All right. Just has to be good enough, nothing perfect, that you can see what you wrote. And boom, right, here it is, love, boom. All right, step 1. Now we're gonna dive right into it. Get your yarn. What I choose to do at this point, oh, forgot one thing, your handy dandy scissors. What I choose to do is I kind of wait till I get most of it down on per letter and then cut it at a certain point. So I don't pre-cut, if that makes sense. So you kind of just leave your yarn there and you'll know once you get to the end of your first letter, when to cut it or certain points. But I don't want you to cut it too short where you have to keep adding and subtracting. This is like the easiest way. So you just take one end of the yarn, okay? Get your handy dandy glue. Open it up right here. And no worries if you're a little behind due to time or anything like that, because we have a beautiful video tutorial breaking down this entire thing for you so you can go back to later, do a fun activity with your family or group or friends this summer. So what I'm gonna do now, I'm gonna open the glue big enough. Oops. All right. And you're gonna squeeze it out and you're gonna follow your letter. So what I'd like to do is do bit by bit, section by section, and kind of like rub it in like that. I don't do the whole thing because you don't want it to dry out as you're putting down the yarn. And you take one end and you start at one point of your letter. And you kind of just take your finger, whether it's your index or middle finger, and you kind of pat it down. Make sure that yarn is like sticking to that glue really well. All right. And then you're gonna just kind of follow it, tuck it, get it close to each other as possible. We don't want them far apart. They should be real close. All right. And we're gonna this is basically what we're doing the whole until we're done with all our letters. Just take your time, kind of marry them together like this. You will have little gaps and just kind of, take your nail or your finger, kind of tuck it in and add glue when necessary. So I'm just gonna add a little bit more glue like that. and continue going up. Okay. And just make sure that yarn is just sticking to that glue. All right, put enough glue, guys. Don't be stingy. Don't be stingy with the glue when it comes to this project. The more the better, because it's not gonna go anywhere. Do that. And you see why it's so nice to just not have it pre-cut, because you don't know how much you need per letter, you know? I don't really gauge that. So you could just keep going as needed and then cut at the very end to just make it a smooth way of working. Okay, and then I add, and then I put it down like that. Remember, push down the yarn into the glue. Don't just let it rest on top. You gotta apply that pressure so to make sure it's sticking. It's the only way this will work. Go. And try your best to just stay in the line so we can be able to form that letter, okay? We don't want to go outside the line of our letter. Just filling in. All right, so see how I get to this point of my L, it's at a higher point, and then it starts at a shorter point because I'm gonna get to that curve. I'm just gonna get my handy dandy scissors and cut it right there, and then start at the lower end of the L, just like that. So that's basically what we're doing, okay? And no need to rush on this because it's going to take some time, which we probably don't have for this whole presentation. So I'm just going to make sure I get my L down, and I will make sure that the link to the remainder, like the tutorial on finishing this up, because this is basically all you're doing until you get to a point. And then I'll show you once I'm done with this L, what you're gonna do once you fill in all your letters to make sure that yarn isn't going anywhere. Almost there. Let's see. Okay. All right, so now I have my L down, put that right there. And what I would do or suggest you all doing is to grab your glue and just drizzle on top. Do one of these. Make sure that, you know, we really get this down, just like so. Okay, and if you want, you can kind of tap it a little bit. It's not really necessary, but if you feel like, well, you know, just do a little, make sure it kind of touches everything, and then just leave it to dry. Whenever you get through all the letters, kind of leave it there to dry like so. And then move on to the next. Get that heart in there. And you just keep going. It's very, I hope, meditative for you. You know, it's nothing to think about, you know, you just do. Just keep on going till you can't go anymore. And just make sure, like, you remember how I was saying, like, kind of join it together, kind of let that section of my L overlap to connect that heart in there. So just go up here, pin it down. And boom. Get that going. Let's see. And just keep following. It's just good to kind of, you know, give yourself just enough glue. It's not too much where your other hand is like getting stuck on it. Just enough to get you going and fill it in. I'm gonna try and finish this heart. Let's see. How am I doing on time, guys? Because this is so relaxing to me.
It is relaxing. It's very relaxing.
We maybe should. I think you're doing such a good job of showing us all how to finish this.
Yes.
Maybe should wrap it up soon. And Jenny just dropped the full tutorial.
Okay.
Finish
Yes.
in the chat.
Awesome. Thank you. Yeah. So the full tutorial, as I said before, it is there. And it's literally in real time, step by step, as I'm doing in its full entirety. So you do not have to be concerned about that. And just keep going the same way that I'm showing you here. And don't forget to kind of just like make sure you have glue on the top, but just see it all here. Thank you, thank you, thank you for being a part of it. And I can't wait to see how it looks. All right.
Please email Jenny or I your pictures of your finished product so we can share it with everyone. So great.
Yes. Yes.
Right now. Give it up for Shaniqua.
Thanks.
Nice, nice.
We're having fun today. This is the end of year celebration, so there's no need for stuffiness. We let it all out.
Yay! Yay, Shaniqua! Woo!
Right. There it is.
Órale, Shaniqua.
Ooh, that was really great.
Thank you.
Okay, so next up, we have a presentation that features our parents. And, you know, that's quite important. I know Joseph would have a word or two to speak about the importance of a parents being involved in the young people's lives, you know, because he's a great parent, you know. There's oftentimes when we're in meetings and his children require care and he does it so eloquently. But the beauty of it is that they're learning things and how they deal with their father when he's doing business and enjoying art and all together, you know. So it kind of works out pretty well. So I guess the point is you don't have to separate everything. So let's go ahead with this next video.
roll. Hello again to all my friends. Together we can play some rock and roll. Hello again to all my friends. Together we can play some rock and roll. Hello again to all my friends. Together we can play some rock and roll. Hello again to all my friends. Together we can play some rock and roll. 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 Rock and roll.
Mi nombre es Araceli Guerrero y pertenezco al grupo de Cape de la Washington de la High School. Ya tengo varios años ahí.
Sí, Araceli, ¿cuál fue tu actividad o proyecto favorito en el que trabajaste este año? ¿Y por qué?
Mi proyecto favorito fue el de las esculturas de Nikki Lapolé. En él porque es la primera vez que hice una escultura y hice el papel maché. Esa es una de las favoritas. Esta. Y de este proyecto salió otro que hice, igual con papel maché y con palitos de periódico y un círculo. Entonces los junté así y alrededor puro de esto y los tapé con pedacitos de papel periódico y así lo fui formando, pero esta vez utilicé papel maché de papel de baño, utilizando harina y pegamento en ese.
¿Cómo te ha ayudado la participación en proyectos de arte a través de la pandemia?
Me ayudó para despejar mi mente y no pensar tanto en el COVID. Me tenía ocupada.
¿Cómo te has conectado con amigos y familiares durante este año?
A través de las redes sociales se volvieron una parte fundamental. A través del Facebook también, porque así sabía lo que pasaba en México con amigos o familiares. Y también con la escuela de los niños fue una parte fundamental porque de ahí ponían ya las noticias o todo de la escuela a través del Facebook, o sea que todo a través de las redes.
¿Y qué fue algo que disfrutaste aprendiendo este año en Cape?
Este año lo que disfruté mucho fue haciendo el papel maché y el papel reciclado.
También, ¿puedes compartirnos un poco de la sabiduría que hayas adquirido este año? y que creas que podría ser importante para los demás?
Lo que aprendí este año fue de Mirtes, es de que dice ella que en el arte no hay errores. Cualquier cosa que nosotros digamos que es un error, no es un error, porque lo podemos modificar. Y aprendí también a hacer, me gustó mucho el papel maché. Y gracias a Mirtes, porque ella me enseñó eso de que no hay errores, y es cierto, no hay errores en el arte.
Hello, my name's Andrea Lopez. I've been in Kate for a couple of years. It's an enjoyment experience for me.
Oh, hi, Andrea. Then what was your favorite activity
The paper mache,
and why?
because I worked with my hands and I like ripping the paper and cutting and pasting, and it relaxed. It was a lot of relaxing.
Thank you. And what story would you like to share with your peers here or the community?
That art is very calming. My kids love that I do art because I'm not yelling at them or after them. So they like it that I'm in art, and I like to teach them that I'm in class too, to show them that it's a responsibility that I take for myself, that I want them to be responsible for their school.
Okay, and then now, how did engaging in art projects or performance art get you through the pandemic?
Like I said, being with everybody, we give opinions, we get comforting, seeing other people working. And if we have a problem, we talk, and it's like a free therapy section.
I agree. And so how have you connected with friends and family over the past year?
By phone, video chats. That's about it.
Using social media?
Yes.
And what was something that you enjoyed learning in Cape?
I like painting. I like the painting aspect. I like mixing the colors. If I find out of a color that I like to share it. So, yes.
Okay. And can you share a little bit of your wisdom have you gained that you have gained through this past year in Cape?
Passion, patience. I've learned a lot of patience because I was a nervous wreck before, but I've learned a lot of patience. Like they said, art is not perfect, and we're not perfect. So that's what I gained.
And do you have any project that you like to share?
Oh, I made my my son. It's out
That's
of paper
beautiful.
mache.
How did you do it?
I used rubber gloves, and then I cut them in half once it was dry, and they represent my kids' hands. The flowers represent my husband. He likes planting outside, and the makeup, the face. I like to wear makeup. The vines from the flowers connects us all together. So that's why I like this project a lot.
So you're saying that it's your family representation.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you, Andrea.
You're welcome. Thank you. Celebration and celebrate.
So what you all think? It's good? Bueno? Okay.
Yeah, that was beautiful. Real good.
Awesome, awesome. So I just want to make sure you all know that we'll take a moment toward the end to recognize everyone. So please stick around. And if you have a piece that you've seen, you know, there'll be a point where you may be able to tell us a little bit about it if there's time. Okay. So next up, we'll have a little bit of talk about our summer programs from Jenny, who's been doing a lovely job with organizing the videos and bringing them in and out. So give it on up. Yeah.
Woo, Jenny.
Thank y'all. So I just wanted to say thank you to everyone here. Thank you to our teachers and our artists and our students. I'm so excited. This is so awesome. I just wanted to say a really quick shout out to our summer program. If you are a student and you want to join our summer program and you have not registered yet, I'm going to put all of the links in the chat right now. Our summer program will start the week of the July 5th, and it will end around August, you know, the first or the second week, depending on your school. And so please sign up for our summer program. And that is all. Thank you.
That's cool. So now we're going to take a little journey, a deep journey with some very special people who do sound walks. So Jenny, take it away.
Like a small boat on the ocean, sending big waves into motion. Like how a single word can make a heart open. I might only hurt, but I can make an explosion. And all those
Oh yeah, that's the funny thing about it. It's like we could start there, but at the same time, it's like if we follow the trail that's right there, we're just gonna merge onto that trail. I know which one you're talking about. It's like it'll all make sense if you've ever been on that trail. It's like you'll be able to recognize where you are, and it's more of like a scenic detour instead of like a completely separate trail.
Yeah, and then I could definitely do definitely try to get people to do so like we can start the walk and I can just do sort of like sort of breathing exercises and some mindfulness exercises and stuff like that.
Eggers Grove moves from dry wooded ridges where spring wildflowers thrive.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll see some thriving spring wildflower.
Whoa.
To long, narrow wetlands filled with sedges.
Ooh.
What are sedges?
Grass.
I know what hedges are, but
Grass.
sedges are grass?
Yes. Tall grass.
Well, all right. So, Jenny, how you feel about today's program? Can you hear me? Oh, okay, good. All right. So next up, without any further ado, we have someone who is very near and dear to Kate, Juan Carlos. We like to call him a super artist because he's everybody loves him. So, and there's a good reason. He does wonderful work, and it's very impressive. So Juan Carlos, show us about this archival work that you're doing.
Well, first of all, I just want to say thank you to Kate for having me. I'm very honored to be here on this platform with everyone here, all of the teachers, all of the faculty, all of the artists, and especially all of the students. Thank you so much. Well, you know, this archival project is kind of interesting, right? When I first went in to talk to Scott, my first interview, Mirta Brzezinski had called them and told them a little bit about me. This is like over 20 years, everyone. Okay, that's how old I am. You see that? That's 20 years right there. So, you know, Scott came in and I met with Scott, and he asked, what kind of work do I do? And at that time I was doing large scale painted murals and mosaic work. And so I came in and showed him my mosaic work. And I was just pretty impressive stuff at that time. And but one of the things that Scott asked me was, okay, as I'm seeing the work, please tell me, how do you teach? Like what's the process of it, right? And that was a very profound question for me, because at that time I was starting to teach and I really enjoyed teaching. And I had studied many different forms of art. And I knew all the structures of teaching and how to do that well. But one thing that I noticed at that time in my life was that I was really, really absorbed in really connecting with students and families and really creating relationships and using those relationships and the growth that stems from that, and use it in a form to really tap into a creative process that really connects with us, within us, and the community and the neighborhoods, relationships. But at that time, I didn't see anybody doing that. I didn't see that was one of the main focuses of education, specifically in the community when you had arts organizations working with schools or neighborhoods or people. It was all about an end product. And so when Scott asked me, you know, what's your process? Then I was really able to dive into and point out those things that I learned myself as an artist from the community in the neighborhood. And that's when I realized that, you know, this might be a really good fit, right? Because one thing that Scott said was, you know, what I really want you to do, Juan Carlos, based on how you you teach and what you're looking for. He goes, I want you to teach the way you make art. He's like, don't teach the way you've been taught to teach. Your own process of learning, use that. And however it is that you learn, use that to learn to teach students. And I loved it. Someone was asking me to be myself and to use myself, the individual, just like a lot of us here, with personal experiences that have led us to where we are at today. Our culture, our backgrounds, our communities, our families, those friends or people that maybe have just stepped into our lives for just a glimpse, but made an impactful difference in which way we were going to go or develop or create our voice, our own personal strengths, individuality. And I figured, you know what? I think I can use this to work with students for them to be able to tap into those things that are going to get them to grow, learn about themselves without judgments, without having the fear to ask questions, to step outside the box, to ask uncomfortable questions that are happening in their neighborhoods or in their families. Be able to go to a place where teachers will not shy away or try to direct the conversation somewhere else, but really get into the gritty, the ugly, and the beautiful. All those things that are happening to us every single day, every single moment of our lives, regardless of how far we've come along, we still live and go through those things throughout the day, and we continue to grow. And so the question came about, later on when Kate was saying, you know what, we're teaming you up with researchers and we're documenting, right? But it turns out, like around 2002 and 2003, hey, you know what? There is no vocabulary for arts education. It's hard for us to advocate for arts education to get funding, federal funding or whatever it be, because we don't have a vocabulary that talks about how is it that we learn, right? There's traditional arts education vocabulary and communication, right? But those are just like an art. There's tools and methods and techniques that we're taught, but it doesn't teach us how to actually become our own artists. So it was in that way that Cape actually went to the teachers and to the artists and said, you guys are doing the work. What does this vocabulary look like? And we all said, well, let's do this, because we knew that there wasn't a vocabulary. And if we can't we're not given the access and the privilege to create our own vocabulary, then we're not going to be able to write our own narratives. And we need to do that with all the struggles that we go through, so that we can say that that narrative is authentic to my community, to me, to my family, to my culture. And it needs to be archived even with its rawness, because that is the truth of where we're living at right now. We can't polish it up. It needs to be visible. And it's within that conversation that we are where we're at today. And it's through the process of teaching and learning and mistakes and being aware of those and putting our heads together with teachers and students and through difficult situations that we've been able to say, it's okay with the students, let's just grow together, right? If there's a struggle, don't run away from it. Face it head on, because that's how we grow. That's how we learn. And that's how we'll continue to exist and not be erased. So given that conversation, You know, when Jenny approached me and Kate and said, listen, we're interested about doing a second piece to an archival page. That's when we said, well, then let's try and do something that doesn't fit the traditional form of arts education documentation. Let's try to include all those experiences, the relationship building, all those nooks and crannies, all the inquiries or threads of creativity that we made throughout the years that were just as essential as the overall project or documentation that the researchers have or that you see on the website. Let's create a page or an archival page that's completely different than that. Can we do it? Right? Can these important pieces of our lives continue to exist in a space where there's just as much relevance as the traditional structural documentation that's already there? Because it is just as valuable, just like you know, your parents and your community, they're able to give you the tools and the education, right? But sometimes that didn't reflect how you learned. There was other things that happened aside from that. Like I said, the conversations with your elders, community members, maybe a homeless person that was evident in your life for just a split second, like there was for me, right? All those different things affects how we learn. So with that, we said, then obviously we got to do the same thing the way this was approached in the past. I can't just come up and say, let's do it this way. Jenny cannot come up and just say, let's do it this way. We both agreed that we're going to introduce this idea to the people who are making a big difference today with our children, our students, our communities, our families, our parent groups. We invited obviously the people that are making the powerhouses, right? The artists and the educators and the students. And we said, what do you think about this? And let me tell you, the reception was amazing. The reception was amazing. And everyone knows at the end of the year, if you're an educator and an artist, the last thing you want is something on your plate, right? You're like, all right, maybe I'll throw some images here or whatever. But in this case, there was an immense, it was so, people were receptive to this idea. We said, let's try to do something that goes against what a traditional archival website would look like, right? Let's keep it raw and simple. This is an introduction, right? With the hope, just like a painting or a piece of beautiful music, like the kind that Brother L just bestowed upon us, it's layers and layers and layers of love and experience and brushstrokes and musical notes and everything, right? So I'm going to introduce to you just an intro to this archival page. And let me get to it and show it to you. Like I said, we wanted to just start it raw so that it can continue, we continue to add. This is just the beginning, and it is our hope that you, the community, the teachers, the students, the families, the parents as well, will be able to contribute to how this looks and how it will continue to grow. It is just like with everything else that we do in our lives. One little thing can spurt growth. Well, I'm going to share with you now just where we're at. And the main thing that we're talking about was raw bones images. And here we are, Cape After School, Digital Archive 2021. Plain and simple. Look at this. A plain canvas for us to work off in the upcoming years. And let me read this to you. In this new archive project, artists, instructors, and CAPE staff collaborated together in creating an unorthodox archival page where essential documentation that does not fit academic research archival structure can exist. A space where those threads of creative investigation that were highly relevant or crucial to the overall project can be documented. This is the beginning, and we are hoping for this to be able to springboard into further development. An archival page where a general audience can look through and explore the many facets of creative learning. To begin the process of creating this archival page, artists, instructors, and CAPE staff gathered together to discuss the following. What exercises, situations, or conversations occurred throughout the year that were essential or pivotal to how the project evolved? What situations, exercises, conversations, or experiences were meaningful and contributed to the development success of the project? How do we archive meaningful and essential development to accompany research elements of documentation? How do we create a trusting environment or space for the general audience? Where can we put these essential creative threads of exploration so that they continue to exist? We challenged ourselves to think and work against the traditional format of documentation. We wanted to create a place where we could personalize, represent, and honor the weird. We wanted this tool to reach the general public, parents, and neighborhood community, and make this page an essential part of the overall documentation of the class project. We used the challenges brought to us by this pandemic and took the opportunity to continue to break, rearrange, and strategize traditional methods of documentation. And this is just barely the beginning. What you see in the bottom, you'll see areas where those exercises that were not able to fit that traditional archival method of research, they'll be able to exist here as an essential tool, an essential part of the overall documentation. We have an area for sounds. Here you'll find documentation of sound pieces, excerpts, or exercises that was essential to the creative lessons, but was not able to make it to the Google Sites website, not because they were not as important or essential to the projects, but because it just did not fit the traditional research format. We're artists here. We're educators here. We're doing revolutionary things. There's not a template for this. It does not fit the normal. And we do not expect it to. And we will create our own spaces to exist. These are not the extras or the dump buckets. It is where important threads of creative exploration can exist, be visible, and is just as important as the research documentation. And you will see below sound excerpts from different schools, some images with sound excerpts here from many different schools. And each one of these links, these pages will have a link to take you directly to the actual website, or the actual Google Sites where the actual projects and research were there. So let's listen to one from Tepos Locali. Let's see what this is about.
I think you might have to share your sound, Juan Carlos. We can't hear anything.
What's that?
I think you might have to share your sound. We can't hear anything.
Oh my goodness.
Jenny, can you just play it for him?
Juan Carlos, if you click on share screen at the bottom of the Zoom screen, in the bottom right-hand corner, after you click that, it's a little square that says share sound.
All right.
Then click share.
I can share my screen. Do you think that's good?
That would be great.
Okay.
So, this one time I was at a party. I was having fun. Um, they had a dog. I played with it a little. I had fun at this party, and everyone else did. You know, a lot of the kids were dancing though, so I thought maybe I should bust moves. Almost turned off my watch for a second. But yeah, I did kind of normal moves. Um, I did a lot of sitting around and playing on my Switch. It was a fun party, and there was a lot of music, a lot of different types. Mexican, freestyle, Chicago house. There's a lot. There was a lot.
Okay, I'll let you take it away, Juan Carlos.
Very good. All right. So as you saw, that was an example of the sound, our after school's digital archive. And we're going to go back. Images. Scroll down. And you have access to a lot of the beautiful work that students created throughout the year that prompted or were essential to the overall project. Threads of brainstorming that were important or propelled us to how beautiful the projects were going to be, or the discussion or the dialogues, the conversations. Yes, text messages and chat boxes. Here you will find small threads of documentation of written text and photos of conversations, dialogue, and questions from chat rooms during our sessions. These chat rooms added to the ongoing Google Meets computer video dialogues in a manner completely unexpected. How can instructors teach a lesson plan with the same engagement as being in the classroom? How can educators seem just as personable or engaging to students than just a personality on a monitor? How can one-on-ones be the most effective? How can educators reach their students? And here you will see chats, photos of chats, a new form of dialogue that was completely unexpected in the education world. A new way of communicating. What was interesting about this as well, it also, students that were usually shy and were not really vocal in class took the opportunity to really communicate with one another. And this was all new. And this also was pretty evident in a lot of CAPE professional development, where you saw a lot of teachers and artists who normally pick one of the group members to talk on their behalf, but were very, very, very vocal in the text messages and chat boxes. Documents. So like it's stated, this is not a dump bucket where people could just throw in, photographs and pictures of stuff just to put it where it goes. No. You're gonna find some pretty amazing documentation that you're gonna be like, oh my goodness, this is amazing. I cannot believe there's not a format or a page or a place where this can exist in formal traditional research documentation. Well, there is now. We're creating it ourselves. A section for video, and this is going to continue to grow. Here you will find videos of online virtual teachings related to film, video, theater, dance, poetry, etc., etc. It's going to keep going. What does a collaborative performance look like when we are not all in the same room? How do collaborative sound, video, or performances manifest itself through a variety of online forms of communication, such as how high or low internet connection? We've all seen that when we've done performances together, or try to sing together, right? Or try to teach. How does that project on through your computer? How do you hear it? How does this affect our experience as the audience, or how we see or hear the collaborative live performance, whether it's sound, video, or performance? How does this influence the manner in which the instructor teaches?
This is awesome.
So again, this is the intro. This is just the beginning. This is just one little thread. We invite all of you to go through it so that you can tell us, add a paint stroke to it, add a layer to it, take it somewhere where it's untraditional, right? Let's just take it off the hook, right? Let's throw it on the ground, right? Let's set it on fire and let's do something with that. You know, if anything, 2020 has shown us that it, just like these relationship buildings of what's affected how we learn, how we look at things, right? What happened this past year? We've had a pandemic. We've had racism. We have the homeless situation. We have hate against people, right? And through this, just like in those situations where you found yourself where you don't have people around you and you're by yourself, right? We figured out a way to connect, to survive, to pull from one each other, to get through those struggles. But guess what? The reason you're seeing such amazing work here is because no one has stopped. Everyone has continued to connect, to collaborate, to listen, and to hear each other, and to learn from mistakes and continue to make mistakes. That's what's kept us growing. That's what kept us to these new threads and avenues of learning, of arts education integration, or whatever you call it. Well, we can never remain complacent. We can never say the work is done. We cannot say, hey, people are paying attention to us, and now we could take a step back. No. It took thousands of people to get together in the streets and force a dialogue, because the change and the struggle, we still have to go through it. And in arts education integration, we're creating our own vocabulary. Look, I'm telling you, 20 years ago, no one was doing it this way. People are catching on, but we're doing some important work here.
Thank you.
Don't be complacent. I love you. Thank you. Let's connect. Let's grow. Let's fight, and let's keep it going. We will not remain silent, and we will be visible.
Wow. Give it up for Juan Carlos, everyone. That was amazing. Yeah. Very heavy and needed. Has me thinking. We have a little bit of time, and I wanted to just throw it out there for a moment. And this is a question. When did you discover your voice through art? Just a moment. Sometimes it happens in different segments and parts of life, at different times. But we're all artists in some ways. So let's take a moment and we'll just go around and just give us a little tidbit of when you discovered your voice through art. Shaniqua.
I discovered my voice through art when I was in, I believe it was 4th or 5th grade, Miss Hornstein. my art teacher.
Anyone else?
I'll add, I discovered my voice through art in second grade in my first play.
Just jump on in there. Don't stop. Let's keep it going like it's a cipher. If you're rapping, you don't miss the beat. Here we go. So now don't let me repeat. Bam, boom, come on.
When I was like 5 or 6, I was sitting in a Roy Rogers restaurant, like a fast food chain, and was doodling. Hey, Jojo. I was doodling on one of those paper placemats. And that was the first time I really felt like the magic of drawing. Hey, Joshua.
I discovered my voice through art just a little differently. It was at the Art Institute of Chicago, and I was about 8 years old or 9, and I asked to see the Mona Lisa. I was like, had seen something on TV. I was so caught up, and the security guard there said, "Oh, that's not here. That's all." He said, "It's not here. It's in another country. It's really far away. You'll never see that." And I said, "Where is it?" He said, "It's in Paris. So you'll never see that one." And I said, "Yes, I will." And I made that my mission, and like art just became a big thing. You know, it just was like, yeah, sure, I will. Where is it? All right. That's it.
I discovered my voice through art in 6th grade with Miss Arnold, sharing poetry that I had written in class with her at recess every day.
I discovered my voice in art during after school program in 6th grade, which was a writing program. It was amazing that there were adult people who took time outside of school to give us love and attention and to cherish what we had to create.
Well, I'll share. I discovered my voice through art by being indoctrinated into hip hop at an early age, learning how to break dance. I was so in love with hip hop that I was carrying linoleum to grammar school. You know, it was just a thing. It was a thing that overtook me, even to this day. And the reason I asked this question is because, well, the work that we do, you know, is very pointful in the sense that, you know, they're very tender ages where young people discover art, and you know we have a responsibility, and the responsibility is very heavy. And I think that I like to think that I'm an artist who teaches, not a teaching artist. And that's just my own way of kind of recognizing it, because without making art, you know, and I don't have anything to give in that manner. I have something to give more when I'm making my art. And it's actually made me think about it, what Juan Carlos was saying, and how he was, you know, how he had the conversation with Scott about really, you know, showing young people how you really discover and learn and work and tool your own art, you know, very specifically. And it makes me think that's why I consider myself an artist who teaches. So that's just.
I discovered my voice in art. I was in the 2nd grade, and my teacher, Mrs. Scott, she had a piano in the upright piano in the classroom. And when she left the room, I would play this little tune on the piano, and all the kids, the little 2nd graders, we were They were dancing around the room and jumping around and yeah, so that's when I was like, oh wow, yeah. So she would come in the room, that was way back in the day, and she would say freeze, and everybody had to just freeze right, whatever motion they were in, they had to freeze. And she had that big long paddle with a ruler with the tape around it. She would whack, whack, whack. But yeah, so that's about the time.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. So without any further ado, thank you all for sharing that. And I think it adds a little richer texture to just some of the things about the work that we do, and as far as even archiving it, and just knowing that it's very special and important. This next video is a video of the students I've been working with at Diet for some time. And basically, they're giving a school tour, and they're doing it their own way. And, from camera positions to editing to music, and I'm just a technical director, a motivational technical director for the entire thing. Let's just put it like that. Jenny, let's take it away.
Welcome, Diet students and families, to Diet High School. Come on, let me give you a tour. This will be our ID check-in, where the entire school checks in for attendance in the morning.
Welcome to Diet's Dance Studio, and here we do multiple dances including hip-hop, cultural, African, Indian, jazz, and many more.
During your time here, you'll be doing multiple things from different projects. You'll experience photography, digital painting, pottery, painting, whatever you choose. This is my pathway, and you're welcome to try it too. This is one of the many artworks that I've done here. We were doing a description of ourselves. Me personally, I chose a broken art piece. Everything I've done on this is made out of tape or old wires to describe you could be broken, beauty. So the girl in the middle represents a beautiful person even though she can't express it because her emotions are broken. And this is my piece.
This way is our cafeteria. This is where freshmen have breakfast and all Diet students have lunch. Welcome to the mini black box. What you just witnessed is one of the many things you can use this small room for. If you go up to the office and ask them if you can use it during lunch, they'll let you use this to practice music, acting, dancing, and whatever you want.
During your time in the studio, you will learn how to become a producer. Learn how to set up music, play it, all from what you choose. You have the drums, you can sing, you can rap. You can also create your own demo or music. It's all up to you. Everything at the school will help you, guide you, or just bring you relief. From the studio, the pool, game room, they all help you relieve stress. Take advantage of the opportunities you have at the school, and I promise you, you'll be A-okay.
Welcome to Walter H. Diet High School for the Arts. I'm happy you are here with us today. Here at Diet High School, we offer several different pathways to the arts. We offer dance, theater, digital media, choir, band, visual arts, and just an array of other extracurricular activities.
This is our huge library where freshmen, sophomores, juniors, and seniors hang out in the morning.
I had a lot of doubts about Diet. I didn't really like how it looked. I was kind of confused on the first day with a lot of things and struggling, finding my class and things like that. But once I actually got into the school and I, got into my schedule and started to meet new people and things like that, it became very easy, surprisingly. And I was able to progress fast, and I didn't have to struggle a lot with getting better with keeping myself organized with my classes, getting help from my teachers and things like that. So if you have any doubts or any questions or anything like that, I assure you that majority of those things will go away once you become a student here as an incoming freshman, and that you won't have to worry about the things that you think you're worried about.
Now we're in the theater classroom where our drama teacher, Miss Graham, teaches us everything there is to know about the drama world. Get a good look because this here is our stage where all the dancers and actors perform. There's also many opportunities for students to be able to learn how to work sound during the productions.
Walking the Dice Freshman Locker Bank. To our right, we have the admissions office / scheduling office. This hall is mainly where the freshmen pass through.
So on the way to the other side of the school, you'll notice that we have a lot of photography done by our own students here.
This is a mural that shows the artistic representation of science concepts.
One thing about going to Diet, there's always small reminders of all the possibilities for your future.
We wanted to bring a little color to the center of the school. We started off with sketches and we cut them out to make like shapes that we thought were cool. You're not in a plain white room. You're actually looking at color, and color is supposed to bring some type of joy or some type of life into the situation. Throughout your years here, you will be doing multiple projects from art, digital media, or just artworks you want to express. There's even times where we will do a talent show in here, where we do free poetry, singing, or anything you want to express or show. This is the Sunflower Path. This is where you'll make most of your journeys within a day.
I don't know what else to say, but look, it's a sunflower room and it's pretty. Behind me we have a mural dedicated to the hunger strike activists who didn't eat for 34 days to keep our school open and to make it the high school that we have today so that we, Diet Eagles, can go here.
Welcome to the gym room. As you can see, we have basketball hoops, you know, all that stuff, fun stuff. We might play like little physical games like, you know, kickball or like, just probably have fun or get free time.
Pacer test.
All right. Oh, and one thing, pacer test. We're gonna do those for endurance. Period.
Hey, you got it though.
For real, wow. So this right here is Diet's weight room, and just to see the equipment that we have in here now, from when I first came in as a freshman to only having a few machines to work on, it just really brings a smile to my face to see how much this weight room has grown.
Welcome to the band room, guys. This is the band room. This is where, I guess,
most of your daily practices will be placed.
And right now we're playing drums, cause
yeah, who wouldn't?
We're awesome.
Welcome to the game room where we play video games like PlayStation, Xbox. We play, as you can see, the basketball, mini hoop, and then we play checkers, we play Uno, and we play air hockey.
Hi, my name is Chelsea Kersey. I am a dancer and I'm a junior.
Hi, my name is Journey. My pathway is art, and I'm a junior.
My name is Amanda Stevenson. My pathway is band, and I'm a junior.
Hi, my name is Kanaya. My pathway is theater, and I'm a junior.
well. We have come to the end. Thank you for watching all of the lovely footage. And I know that we have a moment for Amber to have some reflection. Um, Again, thank you for your attention, and we appreciate all the work that you do.
Oh my goodness. Thank you so much, Lionel. This has been more magical than of a night that any of us could have imagined. So for all of you that have joined us, I just want to thank you again so much. Really quickly, I want to keep this reflection short because we were supposed to end at 6:30, so I do want to respect everybody's time. But because we are celebrating the end of our year, I want to do an activity that I like to do with students that I have, and it's inspired by a game that I like to play called I Love My People Who. So all this is going to mean is if you're comfortable turning on your camera, please do. If not, I just ask that you give a reaction if the statement that I say either applies to you or you agree with it. Okay, so if everybody could start with their cameras off, and if the statement applies to you or if you agree with it, please turn your camera on or just give a reaction if you're unable to in this moment, okay? So just to start, if you teach at or are a student at New Sullivan, turn your camera on. Give a little shout out, give a little wave, all of my New Sullivan people. Yes, yes. If you are a teacher or a student at Telpo, if you are an instructor or a student at Telpo, everybody just give a wave, give a shout out, just a moment to say yay. We can get in the chat at North Grand. Turn your camera on, give a wave. Give a goodbye. Give the Lionel hands, as I'm gonna call them. If you are at George Washington, teacher or a student or a parent at George Washington, give some Lionel hands. Yes, yes. If you are at Waters, give a reaction or some fun Lionel hands. Yes, yes, I see you all. If you are a teacher or student at Diet, turn your camera on, give a wave, give a shout out to you all. Am I forgetting anybody? Tuple, Planet, Diet. Yes, is that everybody? Yes, hooray, all okay. And then I want to ask if you have been if this was your first year working with CAPE, and it might just be me, turn your camera on, give a wave. This has been a exciting, crazy, okay, maybe it's just me. Thank you for having me. If this has been, okay, I see more people. Yes, if you have been at CAPE for 5 years or less, turn your camera on, wave, give a shout out. 5 years, 5 years. Yes, yes, okay, I'm gonna do 8 years or less, 8 years or less. If you've been at CAPE for 8 years or less, turn your cameras on, give a wave. Yeah, yeah, okay. And 10 years, 10 years at CAPE this year. Yes, 10 years or more. Let's do 10 years or more. Get everyone in here. Yes. Hi, Juan Carlos. And if you had your family involved in any session, in any program, if you had a feature from a family member, from a sibling or a parent or a child, turn your cameras on, give a wave. If you had a technical difficulty this year, turn your camera on, give a shout out, give a wave. Hi, everybody. We did it. Thank you all for indulging me. This is my first year at CAPE, and it has been such a journey and such an accomplishment to have finished and to have had the opportunity to work and meet all of you and experience all of the incredible work that you do. So I feel so grateful to be a part of this family now. You all have an incredible summer. Relax, go outside, hug a tree, make some music, draw a picture, write a story. We love you all so much. Thank you for being here tonight. And thank you for Lionel, who I don't know if you know, made all the videos that we saw tonight. Thank you, Lionel. You are hired for everything we do now. So
Yes, Lionel.
I'll be working with my students so they can do it. No, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it. It's a privilege, to be honest with you, because I had to dig into the work to make it, do what it does. But it already was there, it was brilliant work. And like I said, it was a privilege to go through it and be able to bring it to you. Thank you.
And his music just dropped, so make sure to get it. It's everywhere.
Oh yes, I have a new single coming out. It's called MF Cold, and it's an electronic concerto. It has 3 movements. The first movement is called the rabbit. The second movement is called the snake, and the third movement is called, what is the third movement called? Snake, the rabbit, the snake, snake, rabbit. I forget my own music sometimes. Oh,
send us the link
the cheetah
and the description, and we'll make sure everybody.
Thank you.
Snake, the rabbit, and the cheetah. And yeah, cool.
Thank you, Lionel. Thank you, everyone.
Peace.
Thank you all.
Good
Have a
night.
great summer.
Bye-bye. Have a good one.
Okay.
Bye. Bye.
Bye. Good night, everyone.